Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream. Today, Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nano, Samantha Perry on assignment this afternoon. It's a beautiful day once again in South Florida. We've got a fast main track, firm turf course, Brian, all-weather Tapeta, and I think they're guessing 300 grand in the rainbow today.
Yeah, it's getting up there really quickly. I think the carryover is about 180,000, so that'll be race 4 on a 9-race card. Pretty solid sequence today as well. I know you've got the ticket, but 300,000 on a Wednesday, so not a lot going on, so they'll be firing today.
Yeah, they'll be firing today. We're basically the best racetrack in the country. I'm going to say that without the reservation, I think, this afternoon.
I got no problems with that.
Yeah, we got a beautiful day, and that's it. You got firm turf course, you got to beat. So we'll see how it plays out. Brian's going to kick it off with his early pick 5 this afternoon. Oh, well, there's the Rainbow Six stuff.
Yeah.
300,000 and 180,000, as Brian mentioned, in the estimate pool. So we'll see how that plays out. And Brian, now let's show you a ticket.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now. It's a pretty tight ticket for me. I've got a couple singles to keep it down a little bit here. Now, race number 2 will go 3 deep. I've got the 4 on top, Foxtrot Harry. Race number 3, 4 deep in that spot. It's going to have probably a short favorite in Candy and Wine, but I'm going to go to the 5 Magnetic Beach. Race 4, you can see the single Ghanaium. And in race 5, I'll go down. I'm going to put She's So Spicy on top, but I do think the 1 Rondi Candy Quest is very interesting. They're going to bury She's So Spicy on the tote board, but let's look at the 1 as well in there on a $12 early pick 5 ticket.
Very affordable early pick 5 ticket. And getting to this first race this afternoon, a couple of scratches in this race. By the way, it's a 5 furlong on the Tapeta race, maiden claimers. And these are fillies and mares 4 and up. We did have a couple of major scratches, I'm going to say, for this race. The 2 Lois is Courage and the 4 Lyonza. I used both of those.
Yeah.
So I actually double scratched into the number 7 horse in here, and that's Flashy Motor.
Well, I had her on top, and the fact that Mark Cassie's going to scratch Lois's Courage as well kind of thinks, well, I don't need 2 when I've got 1. And, Flashing Motor is the daughter of Omaha Beach with Irad, perfectly drawn as well. Has yet to prove it on Tapeta, but it's got the running style to say that she's going to have no problem with it. And I think Irad will put her into the race early on.
Yeah, I have to 1 Flash Drive, I think, made up like $600,000 in its career. What about the number? Well, let's talk about your 9 horse in here, and that's on the outside Parade Ring.
Yeah, another horse that's going to have to try and improve it on Tapeta, but Tony Duccio down from Belmont at Aqueduct with a pretty couple of decent, if nothing else, decent turf races. Javier is here. She's got a little bit of speed as well, so she should be involved throughout.
I was looking at the number 3 horse in here, Baldemar, and this from Sam Malinsky, and you just look at its last race, maiden special weight on it, Tapeta going 5 furlongs. Ran a good second.
Yeah, it did. It was a very slow race for the level, but she's run fast in the past as well, and I think she's now trying to round back into form a little bit. She went awry a little bit, 3 and 2 starts back, but Valdemar ran very, very well last time.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out in race number 1. We're going to race number 2 this afternoon. It's going to be a 1 mile and 1/16th affair on the Tapeta. These are claimers, 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 in life. No scratches, jockey changes in this particular race. Brian, Samantha's got an early pick 4 ticket here, so let's take a look at that.
Take a look at it now on what is an $8 ticket. She's going to go 4 deep here. You can see singles in race number 3, and that is Princess Claudia. Big jock switch on Princess Claudia. I can see that today. In race number 4, she'll go 4 deep as well, and in race 5, she's going to single She's So Spicy. It's going to be a very, very short number on a stakes drop for Jose D'Angelo and Irad Ortiz Jr.
That is 5 furlongs on the turf, so the second race this afternoon. Let's start it off with that replay of Rapture Bay.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot going on here, but Rapture Bay was pretty good to win her 2L last time. You can see her kind of in and amongst traffic here, and she's going to end up just getting it done by a neck. The waters are deeper here today as it was a 2L, but, this is not easy. She's got to thread her way through traffic a little bit, and you can see there's a whole slew of horses in front of her here, and she's kind of just biding her time. I like the fact that, yes, she's off to claim now for Jose Gallegos on her class rise from Victor Barboza Jr., but I do really like the fact that Irad's going to come back and ride again. This is a solid win. He knows her well, and while, yeah, she is rising in class and theoretically facing better today, Ron, oh boy, there is not a lot in here that she's supposed to be scared of, class rise and all.
Well, there's another horse from Jose Gallegos in here, and I flip-flop around. That's the 4 Foxtrot Harry. I just thought on the drop, 16-2 last time, 8,002 this time. Didn't, that nice win. I just think there's a good spot for this horse to step up to the next level.
Yeah, she got it done on the turf at Tampa last time, but her race here on the Tapeta 2 starts back was against tons and tons better. Billy the Greek, Remerton, that's a good solid group. We'll see Remerton a little later on. So I think Foxtrot Harry is, the stablemates look pretty good in here.
And, you got the old rapscallion here, Oscar Gonzalez, and this one's going to turn back. Not really turn back, because a mile and, stretch out just a little bit. 2 good races out of mile 70. 2 back might have been a little tough. Yeah. Found the proper level last out.
Yeah, he's kind of the house horse, right? He's proven at the 3L level. He's no great shakes. He's not very fast. The 2 horses now rising in class. Certainly shouldn't be scared of Rapscallion today.
Race 3 this afternoon is going to be a 1-mile turf event. These are maiden claimers, fillies, 3-year-olds. We're going to scratch the 7 ride on Anna. And how did you go in here, Brian?
Well, I went with the 5, and that is Magnetic Beach, not coming out of any of the other races. Ken Sweezy's been very, very live throughout the course of the championship meet. This horse comes in from Woodbine, $35,000 maiden claimer at Woodbine. So that's going to be a better group today. To the bottom today, he's going to run on Lasix again. Got it last time. A much better post today as well. This is the fresh new face angle for me, Ron.
I did. For all the reasons, I have that horse in second, but we're going to show the video. Samantha single Princess Claudia. We got a video of Princess Claudia. Candy and Wine is probably going to be the favorite, and Ceatriz.
Yeah, so here's Candy and Wine, first-time starter for Todd Pletcher that day, and is going to try to make first run and is going to pay the price on the pretty hard chase here, and is going to pay the price here. And what happens is Princess Claudia is going to run on pretty nicely in the lane. It was basically the first time that Princess Claudia showed any signs of life. Cicatriz is going to tire out of it here in a little bit. Now today, Princess Claudia is going to get Luis Saez. So this is a pretty big move here now to get one of our former leading jockey here at Gulfstream Park. And just maybe after all the furlongs and foundation Princess Claudia has, maybe it's go time today. She's going to stretch out back to the 1-turn mile. The only time she ever tried it, she was in way over her head on debut. This is her group today, and it wouldn't shock me at all if she makes a little bit of a breakthrough.
Well, let's show you stat with the number 6, Candy and Wine, who you mentioned will probably be the favorite in here because it's Todd Pletcher. And we'll see, here is a sprinter route on the dirt at Gulfstream in the past 5 years. Big sampling, 27%, 73% in the money, and a solid return of investment of $1.80.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Todd typically can give them a start, and then they route the second time out, and there it is, 27%. So you would expect a move forward from Candy and Wine. With that being said, she pretty much debuted at the bottom and didn't really show a lot. So you're also allowed to maybe go elsewhere.
Yeah, Edgar Zayas will be in the saddle this afternoon, I believe. So we'll see how that one runs. And we'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Brian, 4th race is going to be 1 mile and 1/16th on the fast main track, I should say. First finish line, what I was trying to say, scratch the number 1 horse, and it is Fallon. And as we mentioned with this 9 race card, Brian, this is where the Rainbow 6 kicks off. Well, look at my ticket, back to 43.20 today. We'll talk about this race. I'm singling right off the rip. As Brian says, too deep for me in race number 5. My top pick is that 5. She's so spicy, but I also used the 8 near Laurice. In race number 6, 3 deep for me, my top pick, Zena Swift on the outside. Race number 7, my top pick is the 5, Anna's Promise. In race number 8, I went deep there, got my long shot near Legitimize. I'm trying to steal that race, going 1.5 miles on the Tapeta. Excuse me. And then the 6 horse for me, that is Texas Holiday. We'll show you a replay of that horse. We also got a stat on that with Christophe Clement.
I like it. 12-1 on that horse in the Topito route. We don't run them at 1.5 miles all that often, so that should be a fun one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. And I just went with a horse that I saw we'll talk about it in a minute, but just had speed.
I agree,
Against everybody else, take a shot in there.
Uh-huh.
So getting back to this 4th race, as I mentioned, the first finish line. And for me, Brian, it was just Sylvia to me, looked like the logical one. Working up a storm, was on the turf last time out. Didn't run that much. I just think if you go back and look, stumbled at the start. That day was over. I like this horse going back to the dirt, taking a little bit of a shot here.
Yeah, I mean, she worked really well on the dirt before her debut, so I don't know what we're going to get today. She didn't do any running. As you said, she did kind of have a tough trip when she stumbled at the start from an inside post position. Probably better on dirt, judging by the works and the pedigree as well. So we'll see what we get today. Short stretch finish line. I'll tell you what, she better be a lot closer today. She better break with the field today.
Getting Irad in the saddle this afternoon. You did go with the number 4. We know with that one we have a 5-horse field. You did go with the number 4, Gainham, and that's the other Pletcher.
Yeah, that's her stablemate who ran pretty well on debut behind Decadent, who could be okay for Kenny McPeak. A little bit of a steam horse. Now we're going to stretch out as well. And Uncle Mo out of a Bernardini mare, and Angela Renee was a very nice racehorse, and she's been a nice producer as well. They paid $750,000 for Ganeum, and I would expect her to put her best foot forward today.
And I looked at the number 3 horse early on. It's stepping up, but I sort of see it as a lateral move here. Coming in from Aqueduct and that Seal Sloppy Jack and Sappy Joseph Jr. Been so impressed with the work that Dylan Davis has done.
Wow, you can't say enough about Dylan now. He's been down here for close to a month and a half, and he's just really, really impressed with everything he's done. This one here, though, I'm willing to take a little wait-and-see approach. She's a New York bred and running out of her element today, but it is Saffy. We get a top jock, and we get Lasix here as well.
Well, we're going to flip the page, go to race number 5. We're going to be sprinting on the turf. It's an allowance optional claimer, and these are Phillies 3-year-olds. We're going to scratch the 3, Don't Tell Tomo, and scratch the 4, Dare to Breeze, and the 10, Matty R. And this kicks off the late pick 5, and Samantha has a ticket.
Take a look at it now, and as Ronnie said, she's on assignment today. She's going to single She's So Spicy. Going to be tough to beat, no doubt about it. And then she's 4x3 with a 2x3 on an $18 late pick 5, and I think a lot of people are going to be doing what Samantha's doing, and that's singling She's So Spicy, who's very, very fast and is dropping out of stakes races.
Yeah, she looks like the one to beat in this particular race. Excuse me. Let me show you a stat here with that horse. That's the number 5, She's So Spicy. And this one is, of course, Jose D'Angelo. So interesting to see what he does with his horse. Dirt to turf over the past 5 years, sprints. 16%, solid, 38%. Doesn't jump off the page at you.
No, but the ROI is huge. So somebody obviously popped at a big, big price. I will say this about Jose, first turf. It used to be somewhat about 0 for 50. And he's gotten a lot better, and this is a borderline freakishly fast filly here.
Well, you mentioned the one Candy Crest that you had some interest in. I think you have a replay if you want to show that.
Yeah,
one.
Let's show her debut. Belmont at Aqueduct. Speaking of Dylan Davis, he was on this day, and now he's going to ride again for Mark Cassie. I thought this was a pretty polished debut, Ronnie, for a first-time starter, a daughter of Connect, who's not necessarily known as a prolific turf sire by any stretch of the imagination. You can see Tam I Am is odds on here, and Dylan's just down towards the inside biding his time, and she's going to draw off and win by 2 lengths. A little different turf course down here, I get that, but she's well drawn here. She's got enough tactical speed to stay close, and I don't know if anybody's going to hook She's So Spicy, but there might be a couple in here that could keep her a little bit honest up front, and that could really play into the hands of Candy Quest. So I'm going to use the 2 of them equally, especially because She's So Spicy is going to be, with 3 scratches out of this race, she could very well be 3 to 5 in this spot.
Another horse that ran well in here, Brian, is the number 6, Lee Amazonia. I think you wanted to show a replay of that, too.
Yeah, so Matty R is out of this race, and her speed is out, too. But La Amazonia ran very, very well in what was her turf debut for Oscar Gonzalez. She's going to get beat a nose in here, and she's going to come back and add Lasix today as well. So she's a player, too, because she's proven now on this turf course, unlike the top 2 picks of ours, or at least mine, and she's got a hint of a rating gear, too, and she's outside She's So Spicy, so she's hardly out of the realm of possibility in a spot like this.
No, I think you got to use her if you're going deep. I mean, I could understand a lot of people singling the number 5, which is She's So Spicy, but you make a great case. The 1 and the 6 ran exceptionally well in there, so good race there, and we'll see how it plays that. And in race number 6, it's going to be a 1-mile event on the fast main track. These are claimers. Fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up which have never won 2 races in life. Scratch the 1 Slender Slipper. And note the jockey on the number 5 is Edgar Perez. And Brian, I believe you have your late pick 4 ticket here.
I do. We'll take a look at it now. It's a $20 late pick 4 ticket. We're spreading here. Race number 7, just a single there of the 5 deep in race number 8 with the 4 on top, and that is Meyer, and that's a Peter Route. And in race number 9, we'll go 2 deep with the top pick, the 6, Texas Holiday.
Yeah, like I said before, we have a stat. We're going to show you on that and a video. And race number 6, getting back to this one this afternoon. Interested to see you went with the number 4 horse in here, and that is Hidden Road, 8-1 on the morning line.
This is my long shot today, Ron, and we'll see what we get. There's nothing in here, to be perfectly blunt. There's no one to be scared of. There's a horse coming off a maiden win at a big price. Hidden Road took the waiver last time for Mike Lerman. Didn't do a lot of running. Now is in for the tag. Mike got that race out of the way. Wasn't horrible because the race was very fast for the level, if nothing else. And I'm just going to try a little bit of a price in a spot where I don't like any of these, or I don't trust any of these.
Well, you know, I had the same problem here with Zena Swift. You know, I put this one on top. Didn't know if it would be the favorite or the 4th choice. When I did, you know, it just goes, ran okay on the dirt a while back. You have to look. One previous race on the dirt, finished 2nd at Gulfstream, and that was at the distance. But that's it. It's been on Tapeta, sprinting for a long time.
The only thing I'll say is Steve Owens has come down from Woodbine and been very, very live. He's 3 for 10 here at Gulfstream Park. They've been betting some of his horses too, and I kind of feel like maybe they just default to her as the fresh new face, Ronnie, with good overall form too.
Yeah, so that's just a wide open affair.
Yeah.
And if you can go deep there, that might be the place. And I believe Brian did on his ticket. Race number 7 this afternoon, 7 furlongs. This is a maiden optional claimer for 3-year-old fillies. No scratches, jockey changes in here. And this one, how did you see it, Brian? You went with the number 5 in here, and that's Anna's Promise.
Yeah, who's hotter than Dale Romans right now?
Yeah,
right? I mean, just absolutely firing. Anna's Promise is going to add Lasix on the maiden special weight drop. You look at her races at Churchill, facing much, much better. You look at the 2 times she's been in for a tag and high-price maiden claimers at Churchill. She's beaten a neck and she's beaten half length. She's clearly the horse to beat today, and she's going to be a very, very short number.
Well, let's show you stat on Mr. Dale Romans, and we'll see how this plays out with Anna's Promise. And, he's good root to sprint in the dirt last 5 years. You can see it's not a good stat, 12%, 37%. But as Brian mentioned, that's in the past. This guy right now in the present and future has been on fire. So show the stat. A little trepidation, maybe, but I think this horse is going to run well.
Yeah.
I have him on top 2.
Yeah, Dale's been white hot with everything he's saddled here so far.
The number 2, With Kindness from David Fox, is going to get Lasix this afternoon, going to turn back from the mile. Was up there on the pace last time out. Okay, wasn't the strongest pace in the world. Going to turn back. I think that's going to help this horse.
Yeah, I agree. The cutback seems like a good idea. She's going to get Lasix as well. And she's a much more likely, probably exacta candidate than my horse because she's got solid form.
What would a lot of people call Brian Young and Pretty? He has on his ticket.
Well, the thing is here now, we're going to get Victor Barboza adding Lasix. She comes out of the Rio Roja race, who just, ran off the screen, didn't work. Rojo Rita, excuse me. Yeah. Ran off the screen, didn't work for her the other day when she kind of took a left turn at the start of the Forward Gal, but that was a wildly fast race. Young and Pretty got blitzed that day. Lasix to drop. Victor Barboza, second-time starter. Adds up to reasons why she could move forward today.
Now, Louis Sayers will be in the saddle on Young and Pretty this afternoon. A lot of people have the first cut, think it's going to be Paco.
Yeah.
Not the case. So let's turn the page and go to race number 8. And as I've mentioned, I've mentioned the office for about a week straight, and they kept making fun of me. I said, hey, we kept saying, we have a mile and a half to Peter race. And the kid, no, you're crazy. I'm saying, no, we have a mile and a half to Peter race. And sure enough, we did. And, boy, talking about a head scratcher, I'll start with mine, Legitimize. If you look at Legitimize, this one from the Tim Hambon, first horse he's starting here. This horse has speed. And if you look at all the major players in it, there are some that can really run well going long a distance. I'm thinking Louis Sayers goes to the lead, maybe puts these guys to sleep. So I'm going to get 12-1. That was my thought.
Well, Tim Ham's 20%, and he's not chipping across the stage just to, hit the beach here. This horse could be live today. I agree with what you're saying in terms of the flow of the race. Could have a tactical advantage. Probably looking up at the majority of these, but there's upside here. You get an absolute ace, gate rider, speed rider, and Luis Saez. And at 1.5 miles, Ronnie, you might just lump all these, kind of just grind them into the ground.
Yeah, you look at the horse that you have on top. And that 4 horse, in my estimation, probably when push comes to shove, is the one to beat. It's Marty Drexler. The horse has been second at this distance in the past. Runs well on the turf or the Torpedo going long. I don't see any speed. Last time they tried this speed, he backed up. I don't know what I get this afternoon at 1.5 miles.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to be the separator, and I don't think anybody knows what they're going to get. It's a foreign distance. We don't run it. We had never run it on the Torpedo, especially. So we'll have to see. Marty has been another guy that's been winning a slew of races down from Woodbine. This horse has got some versatility, has actually finished second at the distance, so we'll see what we get today.
And Native Shaman, comes in. You look at its races on the go back in September at Churchill Downs, 1.25 miles, close to be second. Seems to be a very formful type. He's going to answer the question to Peter, and he's going to answer the question 12 furlongs.
I think he's the best horse, but Ronnie said it perfectly. Torpedo, what are we going to get today on it?
Yeah, so we see how it goes. And that's why you've got to go. Then you got the number 6 horse in there that Brian has captured a flag from Todd Pletcher. And Todd is a master. If you remember, we have that Alan Jerkins at 2 miles. I think he's won it twice in 4 or 5 years. So he knows how these horses can stretch out. Albeit that's on the turf. This is on the Torpedo.
Yeah, let's show down from Turfway Forever Ventura as well, because this is a horse that has a win here at Gulfstream Park. This was at 1.25 miles. Thanks, Bob, doing the heavy lift and finding these out-of-town replays. Appreciate that. This is Turfway. It's a different circumference, but they are good races up there at Turfway in the winter. And Mike Maker's going to ship down. Now, the barn has been very, very cold. It wouldn't shock me at all if they bet this horse a little bit today. If he's lower than the 4-1 on the morning line, Verstappen is the winner of this race. This is a pretty solid effort, and it's Flying P stable as well. This is a horse that might like this distance. I worry, Ron. I mean, you got to ride a race farther than this maybe for this horse, because he's just getting in gear now. So we'll have to see.
Yeah, and you mentioned Mike Baker has woken up in the last couple of days.
Yeah, that's true.
He was cold. He's had a couple of nice winners. He had that
That's a good
upset
point.
winner in the stake there the other day. So we'll see how it goes there. And another horse that fits it, but a unique situation for sure. I'm going with the speed. My problem, do I get the distance? 9th race, 1 mile on the turf. Scratch my topic and here 1 goal and the 2 Romney. And then the number 7 Lindsay Smiles is going to run on tomorrow, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So, sort of wide open affair in the last race. Both of us end up with Texas Holiday. You want to show the video?
Yeah, I lost my best bet. Gold. That was my best bet. So. Out. Let's show Texas Holiday, who is a horse to beat anyway, and is clearly the horse to beat now. In a little precarious spot here, because we're right in between, and we got to push through, and that's not really ideal, but does show. This was the career debut too, so she's showing a little polish this day for Christophe Clement, who's had a very, very solid meet so far. And Joel was just kind of Rosario was just basically pot committed in this spot. He had to go. He had to take it while it was there. And what happened was he paid the price late. And Annelle's going to win this race. And, you could say maybe Annelle outgained her, but she had recency on this horse. This was a career debut. Ronnie, all things considered, this is a pretty solid effort.
Yeah, it's a pretty good effort on the horse. You can see right there. It ends up, finishing, gets third in here. But we'll see. We're going to start. We want to show you for sure on Christophe Clement. And we'll check it out right now. And his second career started on turf at Gulfstream, past 5 years, 19%. He's always solid, 52% in the money. 130 is the return of investment.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. And like I said, this is a barn that's been humming ever since day one of the championship meet.
Yeah, they've always run. What about the number 3, No Other Like You? This one from Riley Mott, talking about a barn that everything he brings to the post might not win, but they all run well and look well. Getting LASIKs and getting blinkers today after sort of so-so performance last time out. But if you read the short trouble line, shut off, checked early. Put a line through it, getting LASIKs, getting blinkers, good barn, maybe this one bounces back.
Yeah, so it's still a guessing game with this daughter of Tiz the Law, because as Ronnie said, shut off, checked early, the race was over. She didn't do any running from there, so we really don't know. if she can turf or not. The Tizzalaws have been running on anything, blinkers and Lasix. Riley's throwing a lot at the wall here to see what's going to stick. It wouldn't shock me at all, Ronnie, to see her wake up in a big way.
And what about the number 8 Minty in here? That's Mark Cassie going to try the turf for the first time. Boy, has this barn been going good.
Sure has, and you get Irad as well, but I don't think anybody's confusing McKinsey as a turf sire, so I don't know. I'd be willing to at least keep this one a little further down.
Well, anything else, Brian, as we turn it over to the lightning round?
Minty. Well, the 10 is Scarlet Sands, so Chad Brown didn't fire at all in a dead-on-the-board debut at Saratoga. That was 5.5 furlongs. Chad's barn's gotten a little traction of late, of course, winning the Pegasus Turf with Spirit of St. Louis. We'll see about this one. 3 scratches, it's still not a good post.
Edgar Zayas, too. This rider's been riding in great form throughout the window, especially the whole season on the turf course, too. So that's how we see it here on our 9-race card to kick off Wednesday, kick off the week, I should say. But we're not done. We got a lightning round, and it is Wednesday, right?
It is Wednesday.
It's Wednesday. So what do we do? We have something that they do on Wednesday, right? We have the standings. That's what it is.
We'll check it out now, and we'll start with the jockeys. And, of course, Irad's gone goodbye here. Tyler's trying to bridge the gap a little bit. But Ronnie mentioned Edgar Zayas, and I want to mention it again as well, because this is a guy we get to see kind of ply his trade here basically year in, year out. And it was just great to see him win a Pegasus race for Safi on the turf. And now he's got a legitimate Triple Crown horse in Burnham Square. And I know you've known him a lot longer than I have. One of the nicest guys here and one of the best riders here as well. And I think it's great to see Edgar getting the recognition he deserves. And he's in the spotlight now, too.
Yeah, and he deserves to be. As you said, Luis Saez, only one behind Luis Saez. Of course, they're all looking down at Irad Ortiz Jr. So let's go and take a look at the leading trainers now.
Well, Safi is doing his thing, but a nice battle for second with Cassie and D'Angelo. Todd Pletcher. Numbers are probably, Todd's not firing as many bullets as he has in the past, but he's up there with 18. And Victor Barboza has well surpassed his total of all championship meet last year.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll see how that goes. Bet 10.
Hot Dog Wednesday, Ronnie.
Oh, is that?
Bet 10 and get a hot dog. Yeah.
Oh, what happened to the weird? It's Finish Line Wednesday?
Line Franks.
Finish Line Franks. Win Wednesday out the door?
Out the door.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you bet $10 either way, and you get a free hot dog. And I know Brian bet about 20. He was eating a couple of dogs. He might have bet 50.
They are darn good hot dogs, so get involved. It's a cool promotion here. Not hard to do, to bet 10. I lost my best bet. How about you?
I did not lose my best bet this afternoon, and it comes in race number 4, and it's the 6, Just Sylvia, taking a shot in the Rainbow 6 with that horse, and long shot for you?
Yeah, long shots on the dirt on race number 6, I believe. Hidden Road. There's a big scratch in there, so we might get knocked down there.
And I got that speed in that interesting 1.5-mile race, legitimized with Luis Saez in the saddle at 12-1.
That's a fun race. You know, it's 1.5 miles that race.
Huh?
On Topeka.
Yeah, I told you it would be coming up. So that's it. That's how we see it. We'll be here throughout the afternoon. Good luck, everybody. Beautiful day. Thanks for coming out and joining us today.